I can't see without my glasses, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's just how it is. So, good morning, Fullerton. Hooah! You know, I couldn't help but to see the competition still there between the services as we were singing the fight songs and stuff for each one of the different services, and the Marine who gave the good salute when he was doing it. It just does my heart good. It's hard for me sometimes to hold back tears just when I see what a great nation this is. Wow. I mean, I am a boy from Western North Carolina, so I'm not a very good reader. I am going to read a little bit because I think there's some things that need to be said, and I also want to speak a little bit from the heart, if that's okay with all of y'all. So if I could, the cadets out there, wow, if that's the future of our military, I want to be a part of it. Hooah! I'd like to thank all the dignitaries, the families, and the veterans for coming out today, as well as thanks to Marilyn and Jeff Harris for asking me to speak. It's an honor. I join you today as a proud member of the Army Reserve, a combat veteran of Desert Storm, Afghanistan, Iraq, and 34 years of service, and as what I'm most proud of, an American citizen who wants to thank the generations of veterans before me, whose defense of this nation allows me to pursue my life's interests in freedom and security. Veteran sacrifices over the years have guaranteed Americans everywhere the right to pursue their own personal dream in peace and safety, unlike any other nation in the world. On behalf of the Army Reserve, I'd like to thank engaged employers and families and communities around the country for supporting our veterans, current military members, and my Army Reserve brethren. Service in the military has taught me to be a better person and also a better member of society. The Army discipline is based on pride in the profession of arms and on meticulous attention to detail and on mutual respect and confidence. That mutual respect and confidence is dependent on one another and is the key to victory on the battlefield. We in the Army like to call them battle buddies. Hooah! I'd like to now go through and recognize our veterans. If you can stand, stand. If you can't, raise your hand. I'd like to recognize all of our World War II veterans. Now I'd ask for our veterans from the Korean War to stand. Thank you, gentlemen. Vietnam War. Proud of you. Desert Storm, Gulf War. And yes, Afghanistan and Iraq, where we have soldiers right now in harm's way. Thank you. I truly understand the meaning, you truly understand the meaning of sacrifice. I don't know that a lot of people who have not served understand what we're talking about and the meaning of sacrifice is. A lot of people have made sacrifices in their life, but you know what I'm talking about. Those folks that stood up understand the meaning of true sacrifice. Sacrifice comes in many forms, and it's hard sometimes for others to understand that haven't served in the military. How many of you are a mother or a father or son or daughter of a service member? Raise your hand. I would tell you, you know what sacrifice means. And this is the part I want to speak from the heart. We give a lot of recognition to our veterans. We love them. You went off, you fought our nation's wars, and you are the very pinnacle of the freedoms that we stand for. But I got to tell you, guys and gals, those family members that have stayed back and watched those kids, paid those bills, worried about everything that we did together, mothers, fathers, grandparents. I've been on that other side. My wife deployed to Afghanistan in 2018 as a JAG officer. And I tell you, I'd rather go as to stay back. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for all the families that do what you do to allow us to serve our country. It is not easy. It's sad to say that today's living veterans are often forgotten or are challenged with access to good jobs and quality health care. We should ask ourselves, what can we do to help? Recently, I visited the Veterans Home, it's Calvet, during lunch, and let me tell you what I felt. I felt actually personally ashamed of how little I've done as a soldier and a veteran to help those veterans. I got to do more. We all have to do more. I challenge you to put aside, thank you. I was talking to my brother the other day about this speech, and he's a combat veteran. He's disabled, crashed in an Apache gunship where one of the pilots was killed. And he said, if you can say one thing for me, Scotty, he says, a lot of the folks say thank you for your service, but he said there's a lot of veterans out there that need help, and to put some action behind those words. Too many veterans have forgotten with no support structure in communities and families and friends. I see this struggle in my own family, my brother and my son, who is a disabled veteran from Afghanistan. And I hear from them their stories of feeling lost and yes, sometimes even forgotten. And that's hard, I know it. And when we say lost and forgotten, it isn't that people don't care. It isn't that people don't reach out and say, I feel for you. But it's different. For these soldiers and these service members that have PTSD, some of those feel truly forgotten and lost and alone. And that's where we've got to be there for them and make that difference. I encourage all of you to visit the support veterans organizations and activities around the United States. Take the time to listen to their and here's the key. History is much better when you're hearing it from the person that was there than just reading it in a textbook. And every one of these people out here have lived history. Sit down with them, talk to them, and find out what it's all about, really what it's about. I guarantee you, you won't go away not amazed at what they say. So I'm here to challenge you not to just appreciate veterans on every November 11th, but to be there for them each and every day. I would tell you that there are future guardians of our freedom around us right now. And do we know where they're at? They're right out here. This is our future. They're the ones who are going to defend our country. They're the ones that's going to give the sacrifice. And they're the ones that's going to let us be the best nation in the world. And I applaud each and every one of y'all for wearing the uniform. At this time, I'd like to step down to the front. I have 2 of my command coins. And we give these for soldiers in the Army for excellence, but I'm going to give them to all the services. I have 2 that we're going to select, and I'm going to present them with a coin of excellence.
Brad. Brandon Soup. We'll go on to the next one. Cadet Andrea Malinkovich.
I was getting ready to get out of the car, getting my uniform. That young man was getting out of his car with his parents. And I was sitting there watching him, and he's going, is it perfect? Is everything right? Does my uniform look good? And I said, that's a man I want to recognize. So he didn't have a clue we were going to pull him out of the crowd. The last thing I'll leave you with is I salute all of you, and I thank you for your support. We can't do it without everybody's help. Thank you.